Hello teacher, my name is Jess. Today I'll tell you about Little Fox, a class play. Little Fox. The class play. Annie was excited along with everyone else in her class. The children were getting ready to start rehearsing for their annual play. This year the play was the Three Billy Goats Gruff. The teacher, Mr. Fisher, had been reading the story for them for weeks by, and they all knew it by heart. Everyone wanted to be in the play. Everyone, that is, except Henry. I just want to stand in the corner to be a tree, Henry told Annie. Come on, Henry. Being in a play will be fun, Annie said. Mr. Fisher tried to get the children to quiet down. I need everyone to listen. We are going to have our first rehearsal now. Who knows what is rehearsal is? Annie raises her head. It's when we practice for the play. Yes, Annie, this year everyone is going to be the speaking part. So we have to practice saying our lines, said Mr. Fisher. Nobody will stand around as a tree. There are 4 parts: the first goat, the second goat, the third goat, and the troll. Everyone will share a part. I've already chosen who will play what. Someone called out, I know Henry is going to be the troll. All the children laughed except Annie. No, I'm not, yelled Henry as he ran under the table. I don't want to be in a stupid play, Mr. Fisher said patiently. Henry, it will stay. If you stayed under this table, you'll miss our first rehearsal. Then you can't be in the play. Don't you want to join us? Henry shook his head. Okay, then you will sit in the corner and watch us. You know where to go, said Miss Fisher, pointing to the chair in the corner of the class. Henry sat in the chair and sadly watches the rest of the class. Annie was chosen to be the one of the first goat. She wanted to make Henry feel better. She tried smiling at him, but he didn't look at her. Later, during lunch, Annie tried to talk to Henry, but he ignored her for the rest of the day. He didn't care if he had seat in the corner during every rehearsal. He would not be in the play. The next day, the class rehearsed again. The goat was practicing walking over the bridge while saying, trip, trap, trap. But Mr. Fisher, don't please, she said, something is missing. We need to make the goat's footstep louder. Each goat will step heavier than the one before it. We'll have to think to something. Meanwhile, Annie was trying to think of how to make Henry interested in a play. The kids had music class next. They were all allowed to choose their instruments. Annie chose the tambourine. Henry chose the drum. They paraded around the room with their instruments. First they played softly, then they played louder and the loudest of all. When the class was over, the music teacher prizes everyone, especially Henry. Wonderful, Henry. You did a great job, and playing the drum louder and louder each time. Suddenly, Andy had an idea. She hurried to Miss Fisher to tell her that the teacher liked the idea. Then Miss Fisher walked over to Henry and said, "I've heard you play the drum very well, Henry. Is that right?" Henry smiled with pride. "Would you like to play the drum during the play?" "We need someone to make the sound of goats walking over the bridge." Henry nodded his head excitedly. "It is not a speaking park," Miss Fisher said, "but we would be happy if you join us. We are going to be in the play together," Andy shouted as she hugged Henry. The play was a big success. At the certain, all of the children lined and bowed. At the final certain called, all the children lined up and bowed. Henry and Annie looked at each other and smiled. Annie gave Henry a thumbs up. "I knew you could do it," she whispered. So this was Shirley and goodbye for thanks for listening to my video. Give me a best review. See you later. Goodbye.